Hello viewers, welcome back on Alpha Active Learning. For better learning, better understanding, keep watching and keep growing. But yes, don't forget to like, share my videos. So today's standard 8, subject English, and the topic the last leaf. Children, this story is written by William Sidney Porter, better known by his pen name O. Henry, was an American short story writer. Porter was born in Greensboro, North Carolina, and later moved to Texas in 1880. It is published in 1907. The Trimmed Lamp and the other stories are also written by O. Henry. Now, the story is set in Greenwich Village during a pneumonia epidemic. It tells the story of an old artist who saves the life of a young neighboring artist dying of pneumonia by giving her the will to live. So, let's go ahead. In the poorer parts of New York, there was a colony where many struggling artists lived. Among them were Sue and Chauncey. So these are the two girls. Struggling means they are still not successful. They are really making efforts for good livelihood. They had come to New York from different parts of the United States. When they met, they found that they shared the same interest and they became friends. They shared a flat and set up a joint studio trying to earn a living through art. That means, children, both Chauncey and Sue are artists. They are the painters. They are making their beautiful paintings, selling them, but yet they are not successful. Chauncey was a small teen and not very strong. After spending a few months in the New York, she became ill with pneumonia. Now children, P is silent here. So what is pneumonia? It is a lung disease where air sacs get inflamed because of infection. During that time, pneumonia was an epidemic, like how today corona is a pandemic. In those days, it was not easy to cure pneumonia patients. Though Sue looked after her well, Chauncey showed no sign of improvement. One day, the doctor told Sue that Chauncey had 1 chance in 10. 1 chance in 10 means out of 10, the one person can survive. And that chance is for her to want to live, he said. Your little lady has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. He told Sue that medicines alone did not help if the patient did not wish to live. So children, during that time, also this disease was not easily curable. She has decided that I am not going to get well, I am not going to recover fast. So what doctor said, it is not medicine. Along with the medicine, your own willpower, your willingness is very important. One day, Chauncey just lay in bed without making any sound or movement. First, Sue thought that she had fallen asleep. But then she noticed that Chauncey was looking out of the window and was counting something again and again in a very low voice, almost a whisper. So as you all can see here in this, that she is looking from the window and whispering, means in a very low voice she was counting something. She too looked out of the window, but there was nothing to see, and only an old ivy vine, gnarled and decayed at the roots, climbed halfway up the brick wall. Now these are the leaves of ivy vine. So what is ivy vine actually, children? It's a strong creeper with green leaves and the shape is very distinct one and it gives yellow berries. Gnarled here means twisted. Okay. And it is decayed at the root, means it is not very strong one. The cold breath of autumn, the season mentioned here is autumn, had taken almost off the leaves. Only the skeleton branches were left clinging to the bricks. So children, during the autumn season, the plants shed all the leaves. So here skeleton branches means it has no leaves. What is it, dear? Asks you. 6, said Johnsy. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100. It made my headache to count them, but now it's easy. There goes another one. There are only 5 left now. So when Johnsy was looking at the time, 100 leaves were there, but as they all were falling down, now the number remained is 5 only. What, dear? Leaves on the ivy vine. When the last one fall, I must go too. I have known that for 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you? So now, Sui asking, what are you talking about? And she says there are only 5 leaves are left. And I am sure that I am not going to live. Oh, I never heard of such nonsense, said Sue. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? And you used to love that wine so. Don't be silly. She said that your thinking has no sense in it. You are just talking like a silly person. The doctor said that you had excellent chances of getting well. Take some broth now and let me get back to my work. So this dear friend says that you please take a hot soup. Broth means a hot soup. But Johnsy just kept looking out of the window. There goes another one. This you can see here. Okay. No, I don't want any broth. That leaves just 4. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I'll go too. I am sure that with the last one leaves, even I will also die. Johnsy said, Sue, will you promise me to keep your eyes closed and not look out of the window until I am done working? So this poor friend says that please keep your eyes closed. You promise me that you won't look out only. I must hand those drawings in tomorrow. I need the light, otherwise I would have closed the window. I don't want you to keep looking at those silly ivy leaves. So this friend of hers said that I need light because I want to do some painting. Otherwise, how we are going to survive? But now at least you don't look out. Tell me as soon as you have finished, said Johnsy, closing her eyes, because I want to see the last one fall. Try to sleep, said Sue. I must call Behrman up to be my model for the old man that I am drawing. I will not be gone a minute. So, Sue is saying that it is better you sleep. But Johnsy is still adamant. She said, no, I want to see the last one. So children, tell me, do you think that falling tree and death has relations? No, absolutely no relation, children. It has no relation. It's just a seasonal changes. So what type of attitude should a person have when he or she is not well? So the first thing, during this conversation we realized that Johnsy has a very negative vibes, negative thoughts. A person should be very positive even though he is suffering from any disease or undergoing any low thing in the life. Yes, children, today in this pandemic of corona, many people have won this war just with a strong willpower. So let's see. Old Meherband was a painter who lived on the ground floor. But he was a failure in art. For 40 years he had wielded the brush but had not made any money. Here the wilted means painted with a flourish. So he has done many painting, but he is not successful. He was a failure. He had been always about to paint a masterpiece. Masterpiece means a most valuable, outstanding work of art, but had never yet begun it. Children, see, this is a very important word. Everybody has dreams. Everybody think that yes, tomorrow I will do this thing, or day after I may have all these things. Each of you should have dream, but to materialize that dream, you must start working. The only problem with Behrman that he had dream, but he has never started for working it. For several years, he had only made a few paintings. He earned a little by serving as a model to the young artists in the colony who could not afford it other models. He always talked of his coming masterpiece. So why he is so poor? Because he has not started actually working for the masterpiece. Somehow, by being a model for others, he used to get some money. Sue told Behrman about Johnsy's fancy. Fancy means imaginations. Old Behrman was shocked that anyone could have such idiotic imagining. What? He cried. Are the people in the world foolish enough to die because of leaves dropping off from a vine? So now Behrman was very much shocked and he said it is not possible only. Dropping leaves has nothing to do with the death. I have not heard of such thing. Why did you allow this thought to enter her brain? She is very ill and weak, said Sue. The fever has made her mind full of fancies. So, Sue told that yes, because she has a fever, she has become weak, even her mind become very weak, and she is acquiring all the negative thoughts. This place is not good for Miss Johnsy. Someday I will paint a masterpiece and we shall all go away, said Behrman. So Behrman said that yes, I know the place is not good, but I will definitely make a good masterpiece and then we all will leave this poorer side of New York. Johnsy was sleeping when the two went upstairs. Sue showed Behrman the ivy vine that Johnsy saw through the window. They looked at each other for a moment without speaking and then began their work. Outside, a cold rain was falling continuously, mingled with snow. Sue closed the window. Next morning, when Sue woke up, she found that Johnsy was staring at the closed window again with dull, wide open eyes. So now, Sue and Behrman, they looked each other. So both of them got some idea. So they just went up. They started working. Here mingle means mixed with. So the next morning, Johnsy was very eager to see whether there is a leaf or not. Open the window. I want to see, she ordered, and Sue obeyed. But lo, even after the rain and the fierce wind that blew throughout the night, there yet stood against the brick wall one ivy leaf. It was the last on the vine, still dark green near its stem, but with its edges tinted with yellow. It hung bravely from a branch some 20 feet above the ground. So as you all can see, children, here that this is the leaf which is tinted with yellow color, so colored slightly, and here you can see the green color. Now even though with a fierce wind, a strong wind, and there was a rainfall, still this particular leaf was there and the height is 20 feet above the ground. It was hung bravely, so it was still there. The last one, said Johnsy. I thought it would surely fall during the night. I heard the wind. It will fall today. I shall die at the same time. So yet Johnsy felt that as soon as this leaf leaf will fall, even she will die. Johnsy was preparing herself for the last journey. Last journey means near the death that one can make alone. See, children, very important thing. We are living together, but death is the only journey where the people are going alone. Nobody accompanied the dead person. The feeling was very strong with her. Now the ties of Sue's friendship and the other things on earth become loose one by one. The day wore away, but even though the twilight, they could see the lone ivy leaf clinging to its stem against the wall. At night again the wind raged and the rain poured. So these are the two best friends. Now, twilight means soon after the sunset but before it is dark. So we can say before the night starts and after the sunset, the time is known as twilight. Again, till that time the leaf was hanging. Next day when it was light enough, Johnsy asked Sue to open the window. The ivy leaf was still there. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at it. Then she called Sue. Sue dear, she said, I have been a bad girl. Something had made a last leaf stay there to show me how wicked I was. It is a sin to want to die. Now children, when Johnsy saw this leaf, she realized that even with the tough winter, even with the wind and the rainy, this particular leaf did not fall. And this has motivated her to live. And she felt that my thought for to go die was totally wrong and it's a sin. So children, even a person is going through the rough patches, rough time, bad time, whatever may be the reason, but one should not give up. One should always be positive and should never think of death. After that, she was ready to take the broth and milk that Sue brought her. She wanted to sit up in bed. Someday I hope to paint the Bay of Naples. So now this leaf has changed the mindset of Johnsy, and now she is becoming very strong and positive that one day I too paint the Bay of Naples. Mr. Behrman downstairs was now ill with pneumonia. The sweeper had found him lying helpless in his room in very wet clothes and shoes. He also found some scattered brushes and a palette with green and yellow colors mixed on it. Mr. Behrman, he too was suffering from pneumonia, and at that time nobody was with him. He has wet clothes and shoes. But surprisingly, in his palette there were colors green and yellow. So now you can think these are the same yellow and green color which was there on the leaf, and the brushes were scattered. That means somehow after doing this he could not get well, right? And that's why the brushes were kept, they were squat. 2 days later, Mr. Behrman died in a hospital. The last ivy leaf was still there on the wall. The bad part is that Mr. Behrman himself was suffering from pneumonia and he died. But that last ivy leaf was still hanging on the wall. It never fluttered or moved when the wind blew. Now children, if it is a very heavy wind, the leaf should move, it should flutter, it should, right? But it was not moving, it was not fluttering. That means these leaves cannot be the real one. It was Behrman's masterpiece. See, that means this leaf is made by Behrman. He is the person who painted this artificial leaf and put it over there. He had painted it there that night when the last leaf had fallen. So in reality, the last leaf had already fallen. But to give the positive vibe to Johnsy, Behrman created a leaf and pasted over it. Now this becomes a masterpiece because it has given the life to the Johnsy. So what are the learning of this book? story. The person should always have positive vibes in the life, even though there are difficulties of any kind. This story is about humanity and the love that Sue had for her friend, and the humanity that Behrman showed by his work. Both Behrman and Sue, they really worked for Johnsy. The power of hope given by Behrman by creating a masterpiece, and this power of hope has created a strong will in Johnsy and the will to live. So children, each of us must have a strong willpower to conquer anything, the willpower to live a good life. Never succumb to your circumstances, but always have a positive attitude towards a life. Even if we have to face bad things, we should always help our loved ones. And as you see, a friend in a need is a friend indeed. The way Sue stood with Johnsy had given a new life to Johnsy. And we can say that the green leaves depict hope, renewal and revival. Dead leaves represent decay and sadness. But leaves are symbolic of fertility and growth, as after the autumn, the spring is going to come. So never give away, never give up. The person should always have a ray of hope in life under any circumstances. Thank you very much, children, and do like, comment on the video. Thank you for watching Alpha Learning.